The courtroom smelled like old paper and impatience. My wife's lawyer didn't look at me when he spoke. He aimed his words at the judge like darts. "My client's husband is a low-level mechanic with a history of disappearing," he said. "He is unfit." My wife nodded. Small, confident, practiced. She added the knife herself. "He didn't even attend my mother's funeral." I kept my hands folded. Calm is a weapon when everyone expects noise. I said nothing, because silence had already been doing the work for months. People forget how betrayal starts. It doesn't arrive screaming, it whispers. We met when we were broke and brave. I fixed engines, she fixed smiles in rooms full of people who mattered. We built a life on late dinners and promises made in bed. Our son learned to walk in a garage that smelled like oil and hope. Then her phone started facing down. Then my shifts got longer, or so she told people. Then I began disappearing. I didn't disappear. I was erased. The funeral was the first clean lie. She told the court I didn't attend because I didn't care. The truth was quieter. I was in a windowless office 3 states away, signing documents I wasn't supposed to exist to sign. The kind of documents that don't forgive leaks. The kind that require absence to look like abandonment. I watched the service on a muted live stream at 3 a.m., wearing a borrowed suit, hands shaking once before they steadied forever. That was the moment pain turned into planning. I didn't confront her. I audited. Her emails, her financial trails, the shell company she thought were invisible, the boyfriend she thought was temporary, the custody strategy she rehearsed in the mirror, and the one mistake she made because she never believed I was more than a mechanic. The trust. Years ago, when my father died, he left me something that didn't look like much, a retirement trust, old money structure, boring, safe, invisible. I never touched it, never talked about it, let it grow teeth in the dark. When my wife pushed me out of the house, I updated one thing: voting rights. The CEO fired me on a Thursday. "You're outdated, we're done here," he hissed, enjoying it. I replied quietly, "Understood." That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? The judge shifted in his seat as my wife's lawyer finished. He glanced at me the way people look at men they've already decided about. Then the bailiff cleared his throat. "Judge, there's a man from the State Department here." The room changed temperature. A man in a crisp suit walked in like gravity followed him. He didn't look at me. He didn't look at my wife. He handed the judge a folder stamped with words no one asks about twice. "Apologies for the interruption," he said. "This proceeding intersects with a federal matter." My wife's smile froze. Her lawyer swallowed. The judge opened the folder, read, paused, read again. I stood. "For the record," I said, "my periods of absence were federally authorized. My income was structured for security reasons. My assets were held in trust to avoid exposure." I met my wife's eyes for the first time in months. "You called it disappearing," I continued. "I called it keeping you safe." Her lawyer tried to speak. The judge raised a hand. Then came the evidence. Photos, transfers, messages she'd deleted but never destroyed. A boyfriend who liked expensive gifts, paid for by accounts that weren't hers to touch. The State Department man didn't explain. He didn't need to. His presence explained everything. The judge's voice was measured, controlled, final. Temporary full custody to me, supervised visitation for her, an investigation into financial misconduct. The power didn't shift loudly, it settled. Outside the courtroom, she finally found her voice. "You set me up," she said, shaking. "You planned this." I shook my head. "You pushed," I said. "I prepared." She looked at me like a stranger. She was right. That night, my son slept in his old room. I sat on the floor beside his bed and listened to him breathe. The house felt bigger without lies bouncing off the walls. I didn't feel joy. I felt alignment. Justice isn't loud. It doesn't clap, it doesn't gloat, it waits, it documents, it moves when it's time. I was never a low-level mechanic. I was a man who understood systems, and systems always favor those who learn where the quiet levers are. They thought I was gone. I was just getting into position.